Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of the Shattered Relics League. In the last episode, we managed to finish off most of our Slayer grind, getting some huge unlocks that will come very in handy as we progress into this episode, where the focus will be primarily on PVM, and getting some major upgrades for the account that bring us all the way into the endgame. I decided to start it off by going right back to Bandos. Obviously, the Bandos unlocks are super important in this league, as Bandosian Might is one of the most overpowered relics you can use, and using full Bandos is obviously the best way to unlock it. So I wanted to hesitate no longer and get some more of those pieces. At this point, all I needed was the task sets and one more Godsword Shard, and thankfully I got the task sets at 133 KC. I know a lot of people were getting really dry on this unlock in this league, but I got absolutely spooned it this time around, so I'm super happy. The full set, boots included. All I need left is the Godsword Shard, but I'm not too worried about that, as I've got some more Godward boss killing to do other than Bandos, but this is where I'll make my leave from Bandos for the rest of the league. Leaving that high of getting the Bandos full unlocked, I decided to actually do a clue grind. I had saved up a lot of clues over the course of the entire league, and this was a perfect time to get them done because there's a couple really notable unlocks you can get from them. So I started with beginners, easies, and mediums. I actually got 100 beginners done because I actually really wanted to complete the log, 50 easies, and 20 mediums. I had to drop more mediums that I would like because I didn't want to do the damn Ratcatcher's quest to unlock that music track, so I only got 20 of those done, but I'm not too worried about that as well, as I'll do more clues later in this episode. From the beginners, nothing useful as you'd probably expect. It was mostly just for the league points. I didn't actually complete the log. I'm one item off, unfortunately, and I don't think I'll return to do any more to get it. It's really unfortunate that that happened, but I did get a lot of uniques that are somewhat useful, including a trimmed amulet, which is a task to equip. The 50 easies, however, did provide some useful things, such as some Ceridome investment robes, which could be useful for Ceridome's defense. And I also got an Unholy Blessing, which will be really useful for Zamorakian's sight. Super happy to have that one. I got a bunch of pages as well, but not enough to complete any specific book yet. Now the medium clues really turned things around. I got some huge unlocks here, including Holy Sandals, which are really nice because they're actually considered a Ceridoman item, Wizard Boots, which are probably going to be best in slot for me for my magic setup for a while, as well as a Holy Blessing, which is also useful for that Ceridoman's defense. No Ranger Boots, but honestly, I can't complain. These are all huge benefits to the account. I was just absolutely happy with this clue opening. It was incredibly fun. I wish I had more time to do more clues, but unfortunately time is running short and I can't really justify it, so I think this will probably be where I end beginner, medium, and easy clues, unfortunately, but I'm super happy with the stuff that we got. After that, I actually wanted to make my way over to Kriara, and I did Eagle's Peak quest to unlock box traps, of course, to get some black chins in the wilderness, so that we can use those with the typical Kriara method you might even do in the main game. Thankfully, the black chins were completely dead at this point. I know it was easy points and a lot of people did it early on, and there was also even PKers making you lose your chins, but I saw almost no one during this time, so it was super easy. I did wind up getting 99 Hunter from hunting just over 1,000 chins. It only took about an hour using the Chinchampa fragment. Absolutely overpowered. It's super cool when you equip all these, as well as you complete 3 elite tasks one after another for a massive point infusion. It feels really good. And then, unfortunately, some really bad news. I went to go get my Armadillo kill count, and I was still having a lot of trouble with my computer at this point, so it froze while I was doing that, and I died with my full stack of 1,000 chins. This means I'm probably not going to be doing this method at Armadillo anymore, because I can't justify going to get another 1,000 at this point. It might give me the 25 million Hunter experience task, but I really don't think that I'm going to be doing that this league anyway. So it was time for backup strats, and that was actually to go to Ceridoman and then hunt for that Armadillo Crossbow and a Godsword Shard, hoping that I can use those as a backup strategy for Armadillo. It wasn't very long in, and I got hilt number 2 at 62 KC as well. Kind of funny, I know a lot of people really wanted this hilt, and I got 2 of them really fast. Not exactly the item I was looking for, but still appreciated. That's the wrong shard. No!
Don't mind me just taking my carpet for a walk in the wilderness. You know, as you do, the usual. I don't have any rune-like plugins enabled. I have no idea how this happened or if anyone else can see it.
After that, I did about 100 more KC and then took a break to do some hard clues. I was still looking for some of those major upgrades from clues, and I wanted to do some hard tiers, so see if I could get some more useful items other than just investment robes or blessings. And this clue opening was actually extremely successful as well. On my second clue casket, I got the War Blessing. This is probably the most important item of the entire league, given the fact that it really easily enables you to unlock Bandosian Might, so I'm super happy to have this one. If there wasn't one single item I would have asked to go spooned on in this entire league, it was this one, so I'm super happy to get it after just only about 150 clues. Absolutely incredible. I also did wind up getting a pair of Armadillo Dragonhide boots, which will help a lot with my strategy for Armadillo using the Armadillo Special Relic and a full Armadillo set. So glad to have those. Also, D'hide boots in general are just really useful. At the end of all my clues, I realized I actually had all 3 blessings that actually matter in this league. I'd gotten the Saradomin, Zamorakian, and Bandosian blessings all together already. They are going to be so useful and so consequential to the rest of my league's experience. I'm so happy to have them. So I went ahead and returned to Saradomin after my clue opening, but this time with the unlocks that I had gotten from the hard clues, I had enough god items to actually pull off the Saradomin and Zamorakian relic effects at once. And what this actually lets you do is it lets you create a big pile of monsters at Saradomin and just blood barrage the whole thing. You wind up using the Zamorakian relic for accuracy and the Saradomin relic for max hits, and then the blood barrage just restores you HP. So you wind up getting like 15 to 20 second kills at Saradomin. It is incredibly fast to do this, and I wind up doing this for the rest of my time here. However, I didn't come up with this method, I actually found a guide on how to do it, so I'm going to link that video down below in the description if you're interested. It was just completely overpowered. The only downside is that you are quite squishy and there is a fairly good chance that you might die, or kills just get completely ruined by you getting completely destroyed if you splash at all. But when it worked, and I was super happy to have this method. So I wound up doing about another 150 KC this way, thankfully being a lot faster, but still getting really annoying. I hated the fact that you could go so dry for items in this league, and this was no exception. At 300 KC, I was almost 2 times drop rate for the Armadillo Crossbow, and that was super painful. I did wind up taking a small break in between and used up the Dragon Bones I had to get up to 89 prayer, just so that I could use less prayer potions and also have a little bit easier time doing Saradomin. After that, I realized that I needed a couple upgrades from Vorkath as well for my new Armadillo backup plan, so it was a good chance to go there and take a break and try to get them. Most notably, that was the Dragon Bolts and the Vorkath head for the Assembler. I stayed for 50 kills to get the guaranteed Vorkath head and got the Dragon Bolts on the first kill count, so it all worked out. Vorkath is really fun with Bandosian Might, and I can't wait to come back to try it out some more. And then finally, I returned back to Saradomin for the last time.
I was just getting warmed up, and I'm already done. That's 5 Saradomin hilts. I don't want any more. You can keep them.
But my luck turned around massively, and at 389 KC, I got the Armadillo Crossbow. 2.5 times drop rate for this thing. Absolutely painful, but I'm so grateful that I got it at all. Not only is it a big league task, it actually is useful at a lot of places down the road, so I'm so thankful to have it. After that, of course, I wasted no time, and I headed straight to Kriara with my Armadillo Crossbow and my full Armadillo set effect, trying to use the Bolt Relic and my Dragon Diamond Enchanted Bolts. But unfortunately, it was absolute ass. This strategy did not pay off at all, and I am so sad. It's more akin to what you would probably do in the main game, and the kills are just as slow as they are there. I think the main problem is the Armadillo Relic in Leagues is just completely underpowered. I was kind of hoping that the increased bolt activation would allow me to effectively ignore Armadillo's defense with every bolt, but realistically, if you actually crunch the numbers, it's only about a 20% activation rate on the Diamond Bolt effect. So at the end of the day, you're still missing a ton of hits, and with how slow the crossbow is, it just makes the kills painfully slow. I only stayed here for about 30 or so kills using this method, and it took forever. However, it did not come without its rewards. I did get spooned some Armadillo chaps at 12 KC, and then probably the most important item at this point I could get, I got the Godsword Shard too at 13. This means that I had all 3 Godsword Shards and I could head over and make my Godsword blades. I was so happy to have this because I was so excited to finally have some Godswords to try out in the league. I was able to make all 3 Godswords I'm able to, which is the Saradomin, Zamorak, and Bandosian Godswords. The only one that's really useful for me probably is going to be the Bandos one, but I might find some use for the Saradomin one as well. Then of course I returned to Armadillo and I got 99 range. Actually did this almost entirely passively through bossing and other things and cannoning. So I was really happy to have this. Then at 37 KC I actually got my second Armadillo chain skirt, and at 62 I got my Armadillo Helmet, which I was super happy about. It basically means I have the hilt and the body left to get from here. But I actually headed out and left Armadillo for now because I was pretty happy with the unlocks that I had. I was super excited to try out the Bandos God Sword, so I went back to Vorkath and I tried it out, and man, it is an absolute blast. With the special attack and the relic enabled, I can max about 140, which means that Vorkath's defense is basically a third of what it was, and every single poke with the Zamorakian Hasta hits. It just made the boss incredibly fast and easy. I was getting some 20-second kills at Vorkath, which is just incredibly fun. I only stayed for probably about another 50 kills, but I figured those bones would be really useful for the prayer grind coming up, and I was just having so much fun I figured why should I leave? And then I figured it was time to take on some endgame content, and something that I've never ever had a chance to do before in this game, and that's actually raids. And on top of that, I did all of my raids solo. I figured if there was ever a time to try to learn solo raids, it's now, considering Absolute Unit is completely broken for learning things, and this would be a great opportunity to do it. Also, I don't have to drag anyone down while I'm learning, which makes me feel a lot better as well. I went in with a melee focused setup using Bandosian Might and the double hitting relic maxed out, as well as rapid restore, the prayer restore relics, and the like in order to increase my longevity inside the raid. My goal was to make it as easy as possible to survive while I was learning, knowing that the actual time would be horrible and it would probably take me a lot longer than most people to complete a raid. But overall, it was actually really easy to get a grasp on everything. Most of the rooms are pretty easy to figure out, in addition to a lot of really great guides that I was able to watch along the way. And overall, I was getting my raids done within an hour for the most part, even doing them solo. Ulm is definitely a scary beast and really hard to kill, even with the relics. But thankfully, with Absolute Unit, I was really only dying once per raid, and near the end of this grind, I actually didn't die in my last 3 raids, so that helped a lot with the drop rate on items. Honestly, raids were so fun doing them solo. I really want to do more in the future, and I could see myself coming back before the league is over. This was such a blast. And the other cool thing, of course, about raids is the drop rate of items has increased a lot. And you get an item about 1 every 4 raids, which makes it really fun to see those purples pop up so often. And I was no exception. I only did 9 raids and I got absolutely spooned on some very important drops, most notably the Arcane and Dexterous Prayer Scrolls. If there was 2 items I could have wanted from raids ASAP, it would be these 2. Unlocking those prayers is going to be incredibly consequential to the future of this account over the last couple weeks of the league. I'm so incredibly happy to have gotten them so early on. I just can't believe how good my luck has been, with the exception of the Tanzanite Fang and the Armadillo Crossbow. I really can't complain other than those 2 items. At this point, I'm just absolutely beaming with how fast the progress has been coming and how many important items I've been able to get early. It has been absolutely incredible. But unfortunately, this is where we do need to end this episode of the Shattered Relics League. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and of course, an extra huge thank you to the members of the channel who have joined. Your support means so much to me, and I'm so excited to keep making videos for you. An extra huge thank you, of course, to Peepo Time and OneKiller912 for joining at that top tier. That's all for me, though. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.